Hello everyone, and thanks for watching our weather update on January 2nd, 2022. So today we're going through the live temperatures at xcweather. It shows the live temperatures of the UK and Ireland. It's a very nice website, very interesting. Just go there and check out the live temperature. I find it very interesting just to spend time on this website. And also, we're going through the charts again on weather. So we've got quite a lot coming up. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And just to say that yesterday on New Year's Day, we had another update of the weather, and also we released our New Year's Day special. That showed us the CFS run at midnight on January 1st, just as the clock struck midnight of the weather for the next 10 months in Ireland. Now, obviously, don't take this seriously. It's just for fun. It's just one CFS run. That's going to change. Anything that you see on that run beyond 7 days is very uncertain and is liable to great changes. So, watch it for fun. Have a laugh. We get the weather. Say, for example, hot weather, cold weather, wet weather, at the time where it's not suitable. That's a hint at what it shows. It's quite frustrating and quite typical with the weather. So, going through then, we're starting with xcweather. So, you can see on the chart, well, you could see it, there we go. The lowest temperature right now over the UK and Ireland is -3 degrees here at Eskdalemoor. I hope I said it correctly there. If I didn't, please correct me. I think it's Eskdalemoor. And 10 degrees flashing away there at Alderney, or I think it's Alderney, should I say. Then let's just focus on Ireland for now. Johnstown is at 4 degrees. Or should I say Waterford is at 7 degrees. Where are we? Moore Park is at 5. Roach's Point at 9, very mild. Cork at 6. Shankin at 9. Valentia at 9. Kerry Airport at 7. Then Gurteen at just 2 degrees. Athenry at 4. Claremorris at 3. Connacht at 2. Newport at 4. M4 Boy at 9. Sligo Airport at 3. Mount Dillon at 2. Ballyhaise at 2, and Mullingar at 2 as well. Dunsany at 2 degrees. Casement Aerodrome at 4. Dublin Airport at 2 degrees, and up into Northern Ireland you see Glenanna at 1 degree. Belfast is at -1. Up into Ballypatrick Forest at 2. Into the northwest at Magdalen at 4 degrees. Mallinhead at 3. And Finner at 4 degrees. So today was a cold day across the country. It was a very beautiful, crisp day as well. Unbroken blue skies. That was a beautiful winter's day. So we're into the GFS run now from Winter Central. So starting off today under that ridge of high pressure that brought the very mild. What am I saying? Not mild. Cold weather and sunny weather as well. Quite icy in the morning. Then just going through, we see it mild around midweek. Before we go colder towards the end of the week, briefly. A bit colder, not so much colder. And then over the weekend, we get that deep area of low pressure from Greenland. And that comes in bringing a deluge. This time, it's more towards the west, so we bring up a southerly wind around it. So there'll be no winteriness with that. And going through then, we stay very unsettled as we go into mid-January. Constant low pressure in the Atlantic. Very mild there around the middle of January. Look at that big southwesterly pump of air. 5 Celsius ice storm going way up into the Northern Sea. So that's interesting. Also, look at the intense purple colours around Greenland and Canada. That's the polar vortex really powering up. And it's basically an area of very cold air aloft around this area. And obviously very cold surface temperatures too. And this just powers up the westerly winds, powers up the low pressure, powers up the jet stream, and we end up very, very mild, wet and windy. High pressure towards the end of the run tries to go. I don't know why this flicks. I think it's an error of the run. I'll just skip past that. There we go, and we try to get an easterly wind in, but it's battling against this big polar vortex around Greenland, so that's in a struggle. But we do get some cold air in from the east, with the -10 Celsius ice therm over Germany and Belgium on the 18th of January, on the 8:50 temperatures. But actually, there was cold air to our west as well at the same time. So it's a bit of a strange pattern to see cold air to the east and west at the same time, with basically cold air actually plunging out of Greenland into the Atlantic. That will spin this low pressure up and probably kill off this high pressure over Scandinavia. So now let's look at the ECMWF run. 6 hourly intervals as well. It resets it to hot to click if you change the interval. Anyway, on we go. Same story. More low pressure off the Atlantic into the middle of the week. Further rain, strong winds. Now, this low pressure you see around Thursday and into Friday, see this little feature. That's, on some models, like the ECMWF, that spins up into quite a storm. So that's one to watch. And then going on into the first weekend of January, that same low pressure comes in, quite a deluge with that. Bit chillier, but not too cold. And then we just stay westerly for the rest of the run. Then we do the UK-MO run. But same story really. We keep seeing the westerly winds, southwesterly by midweek. Very wet tomorrow actually. A lot of rain will come in. There's a rainfall warning for Kerry for tonight and tomorrow. And then you see that little storm actually that this run has developing quite early, and we end up that goes towards Scotland and gives them a right old blast of winds. That clears through, a bit drier on Friday before the next low. That same low from Greenland comes in, very wet then, bit colder by the end of the weekend with the northwesterly winds. And then we're going to look at the GEM run. There we go, it loaded. 6 hourly intervals and hover. Going through, we continue with southwesterly winds into midweek, very wet. This little area of low pressure coming through, yeah, once again it blows up quite a bit into a bit of a storm. Very tightly packed isobars on the south of it there at midnight on the 6th of January. So that's something to watch. It could be a bit of a storm. And then into the first weekend of January again, that area of low pressure comes in off Greenland. We get a deluge from it. Then that clears through. There we go, that's better. And more low pressure in off the Atlantic. So big southwesterly winds. And look at that. January 12th, 2023, midnights. Look at that flat westerly wind. It's so hard to get more zonal than that. Look at that flat westerly winds. If it were low, there we go. Even flatter then by midday. So we're staying very zonal into the middle of January, and of course unsettles. Icon run at this. Icon run now, and enable the hover. Going through, we see more low pressure in off the Atlantic into midweek. Same old story really. Icon a bit less with the low pressure, developing a bit later with it as well, so it turns into a storm by the time it's cleared east of England into the North Sea. So that won't really trouble us apart from bringing us a deluge of rain. And then a further deluge by the first weekend of the month. You can see that big area of low pressure, loads of bands of showers and rain around it. And if we get the low around the west of the country, that will drop very mild air from the Azores. And what that will do is perhaps give us another round of possible thunderstorms. You know, I've noticed every time you get a low pressure around here, for example, you drag up the wind from the Azores and that sort of area, and you get a lot of showers off the Azores, and you get a lot of thundery, squally showers. So something to watch again. A very, very unusual autumn and winter. This very, very thundery, and then we get colder there by the start of next week. But it doesn't look like it's going to be properly cold. More low pressure is in the Atlantic, waiting in the wings. It's going to batter us before we know it. Our pairs run then, we're just going through, and we see more of this southwesterly stuff coming in, mild, wet, and windy into midweek. Then this low pressure really blows up on January 5th, and gives quite a blow to the north of the country, and in Scotland as well. That could be... And actually, one thing that is very, very unique about this winter is that up to this point, we have not had a named storm. I think it's the first time in a storm season that we have not had a named storm yet. Very, very remarkable. We're in January now, and normally autumn is full of storms in Ireland. So that could be our first one on January 5th and 6th. So watch the space. And then we get this big area of low pressure coming in. That could be a storm as well, but I feel like the area of low pressure that will hit us on Thursday and Friday is more isolated and will pack more of a punch. So just watch that low pressure as it develops. Next we'll just look at the JMA model from the Japanese Met Service. And we'll go through, we see same story really. Mild, wet and windy. And then we go a bit cooler by Friday. That's the area of low pressure that we need to watch. That doesn't really come too much on this run. Just watch it. Some runs, some models have it really powering up. Some don't. So it's quite uncertain. It has also to do with the strength of the jet stream, the contrast in temperatures on its northern and southern sides, things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We're done for now. Tomorrow, I think we'll have a look at the stratosphere, because there's now an evolving situation of a possible SSW that could take place in the middle or second part of January. So we'll be looking at that as well as a normal update like this. So thanks for watching. Bye for now, and I'll see you tomorrow.